Speaking of that, let's jump on to What If a
Oh yeah.
franchise
Oh, yeah.
was different from what it had originally intended to be. Well, we have the first trailer of Marvel Studios' What If series, which was announced at it was the Disney Investors Day, right? It was announced at that, and we saw just a couple
Hmm.
of pictures at that, and I was kind of well, moving pictures, but I was kind of not expecting this trailer because this looks like a fully, amazing looking animation, and I was just expecting something very basic like 2D stuff, and then you have voiceover work. But this looks like a full on, animation movie, and I'm I'm totally in because right from the concept alone, I was totally in on this, and this was my most anticipated one. But of course, Loki really surprised me, so that's right now my favorite.
I
But
love Loki.
this also looks
Yeah.
like amazing. Like, I was not expecting this animation at all. Like, they're fully moving scenes from the MCU, but with different characters. And
Hmm.
for example, T'Challa is playing Star Lord, and he's with Yondu, and that's gonna be fascinating. And then you have Doctor Strange, Spider Man, Iron Man, all those characters, and it just looks amazing, man. The cinematography, I would say, looks amazing. The lighting, the animation, everything looks great. So I'm pretty hyped for it. I think it's coming on August 16th.
11th or 12th, I think. Maybe it might be the 16th
Okay.
though.
Right. So that looks amazing. Also, there's one of my favorite characters from the MCU. It's Peggy Carter. She's playing Captain Carter now, and that's awesome. We're we're seeing her back because I loved her,
Hmm.
show both seasons. I really liked it, and it was different from what they usually do, and it had that charm of the first Captain America movie, so I really like that. And I thought the character was amazing. So seeing her back here is also awesome. But yeah, overall, I loved the trailer, and this just got me even more excited for it. I didn't know how that would happen, but it did, and I'm all in. What did you guys think?
I'm a huge
Seriously, look. Oh, go ahead, Phil.
I was just gonna say, I'm a huge animation fan. I've always been a huge animation fan since the Batman the Animated Series days, and Marvel's always had some pretty questionable animation over
Yeah,
the years. They started
Hmm.
off pretty
Yeah.
strong with Spider-Man the Animated Series, but I feel like they kind of slowly kind of went downhill after that. But this looks like a step in the right direction. I do like the what if concept. I like Jeffrey Wright as the voice of the Watcher. A lot of the concept, even the concept image that they had with the Watcher, and like I think they had Ultron holding some giant two-piece sword next to Gamora holding Thanos' sword. But if you look closely, like Ultron's got all six Infinity Stones, and it's like not even Ultron, it's Vision in like an Ultron armor.
yeah.
It's just August 11th,
August
and
11th. Yeah,
like it's just so wild. I love the concept of it because it's just a what if and it's one thing that's changed, but that one thing kind of alters the entire trajectory of that kind of universe.
Hmm.
And I'm kind of hoping that Loki is kind of setting us up in that multiverse route to where we start asking these questions like what if this universe had this or what if this universe had that? And based on the trailer, with Robert Downey Jr.'s I feel like people that might be Robert Downey Jr., but I would not be surprised if it was not because it didn't really quite sound like him, but I could be wrong about that. But I do like that it opens up with him meeting Killmonger because it's like, what if Killmonger saved Tony Stark? Where does that lead the MCU then?
Hmm.
What happens to the MCU at that point?
yeah. It's also
That's a great
strange
point.
because DC already had a head start at this. They had the Zack Snyder had implemented the concept of what if Superman was turning evil, and that concept was already going on for DC, and they scrapped all that, and now Marvel is doing it. So DC constantly keeps on serving their things on a silver platter to Marvel, and they always keep
Yeah, but
so frustrating.
hands up to Marvel for just sticking to a
Yeah,
plan
Yeah,
and
and
delivering,
having a
whether
plan.
you will, whether you like it or not. Like
Yeah,
they're delivering. They're making within their promises because we're DC was supposed to have the multiverse they announced it with the Flash. That's been delayed for how long? And how many movies do you have already signed up for a multiverse style Doctor Strange, Spider-Man of all things? And then we have a What If? We have a Loki series with a Gator Loki. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like
they just started filming the Flash. Like,
yeah. I feel like Marvel is really, they probably I feel like they listen to criticism and they do it in like a kind of long game kind of way, in the sense that I've heard the sentiment that people were kind of tired, or not really tired, but just kind of maybe done with Marvel after Endgame, rightfully so. That was a 22 story arc, 23 movies if you count Spider-Man, whatever. But like, I feel like doing a What If, like stepping into the realm of animation, that's a breath of fresh air for the people who might have felt that they were done with this, because this is taking the universe that they know, the 22, 23 movies or whatever that's already been established, and just kind of turning it on its head a little bit and doing something that they might not have seen in, much more different visual perspective. I just feel like, they're spreading their wings in a creative stance, just doing an animated series on itself, on top of doing Disney Plus series and, movies. As someone in the chat, Hiding TK, is listening to us while they're on the train to see Black Widow. I'm going to see Black Widow after the stream here in a couple hours, so I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to this series really because, again, animation fan, but largely because this has a lot of fun concepts just based on this trailer. I think the one that intrigues me the most is like the Spider-Man with the Doctor Strange cape. I'm curious to see how that turns out.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to be somewhat connected to
No Way Home. Yeah. We saw some toys.
That's why we seen the Funko.
Yeah.
I'm speaking about Spider-Man, like I feel Into the Spider-Verse helped to give this inspiration on the What If.
Yeah.
Like they're not afraid to contradict their own universe by doing this show. Like this could be seen as doing like a risk. What Tony Stark has said, like Killmonger, what or Peggy Carter is Captain Carter, stuff like that. But they've built up a franchise, a fan base that they can actually take risks. And I think they have been taking risks. I think the Disney Plus shows. I even think Black Widow took some risks as well, especially the opening 40 minutes of that movie. And this seems like a different risk as well. So I'm intrigued to see the Captain America zombie and Iron Man zombie. That looks just I love zombies.
That looks great.
Yeah, see superhero zombies. Looks awesome. I think there was a comic book storyline. Maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong.
Marvel
Zombies.
Yeah, Marvel Zombies or something like that. I never read it, but I just love zombies, and looking forward to seeing that adapted into this live action so I can check it out and see what it is.
I wonder if they'll do a Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. Now that I think of it.
I feel like that would be something they could do somewhere down the line in this animated form.
Exactly. This is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because MODOK was on
MODOK was on
Disney.
Hulu.
Oh my god, MODOK was another surprise.
Yeah. That's Patton Oswalt who did MODOK.
Yeah. I could see them doing something like that on Disney Plus here, which is our adult version of it, is Disney Star. So there's Hulu for you over there. We don't have a Hulu here. So yeah, they could do something like that, like MODOK, Deadpool R-rated animated show series or something like that. It'd be awesome. Which I think, voiced by Ryan Reynolds, you could have cameos of Hugh Jackman and things like that. I think it'd be awesome and different. It'd be a cool way for Deadpool to cross over with the rest of the MCU. So if it took a while for them to do a live action version of it, but this looks like an expensive animated show. It doesn't look cheap whatsoever.
And if you want to see all of that, all of the different concepts that you would like to see, then make sure you watch this so that it's, a huge success and they further explore the animation with other movies, which they probably don't have plans to make into a live action, but, would not be opposed to do it in animation. So that would be cool.
Can you imagine, it's me going back to zombies, but like Captain America super soldier serum who can run as fast as anything, who can jump and is as strong. Like, imagine that type of zombie running after you, or an Iron Man zombie. Like, that's just scary.
I don't have to imagine that, Maher. I've already seen that like a couple of months ago in Army of the Dead. That was Zeus.
It's true, yeah.
That's true.
These damn Snyder stands bringing everything back to Zack Snyder.
Since this is coming
Zack
back
Snyder
before...
invented super soldiers.
Since this
He
is
invented
coming
the
out,
zombie baby.
that is true. He did, yeah. Since this
What
is
about that,
coming,
Philip?
since this is coming out before Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I wonder if Sam Raimi would sneak that in as a possible, like, one of the universes, Marvel Zombies, like seeing it here in the animated form and then seeing it again potentially as like maybe an Easter egg in
I would
Multiverse of
love
Madness.
The
that.
good thing about
I
that,
love like they'll do like a like in the Evil Dead style,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, directed by Sam Raimi. I just
I feel like Sam
bring in
Raimi-
Bruce Campbell. Oh man,
Yeah, exactly.
the
Yes.
good thing
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that is Kevin Feige talks to all the directors and they are all on the same page with stuff. So it wouldn't
true.
be too out of the blue for them to actually talk and discuss the plans and make stuff like that happen, because that's what happens in a cinematic universe, you know.
I think, yeah, but I think it also depends on the director. I think John Favreau would get his way. I think Sam Raimi would get his way. But someone like the Black Widow
Whoa,
director,
keep John
brand new.
Favreau out of it. Let him stay in Star Wars. Let him fix it.
I
No,
think he's
I'm just
so
saying-
perfectly happy
What
as
do you
well, to
mean
be honest.
fix, Alex?
No,
What? Bringing it. I'll watch my
together?
words. No. Just fix it in a sense that, like,
Yeah,
just,
yeah, I know what you
that
mean.
makes Star Wars, Star Wars as Star Wars.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah.
I'm saying the respect, because Kevin Feige, I bet you can be controlling of his characters in his universe, but I think when you bring in somebody like Sam Raimi, you're not going to push him around and tell him what to do every single day.
Or
There'll
Alfred
be
Molina.
compromise there. So that, yeah,
No.
Alfred Molina, you can't even control Alfred Molina. But that's I think that's funny because they're like the OG
Yeah.
comic book movie actors. They don't really listen to NDAs, contracts, or we can't talk about this. But
Yeah.
but I think someone like the Black Widow director would have a tougher time getting creative decisions over the line than someone like Sam Raimi or
Yeah, no,
someone
because
like
when you
John
hire
Favreau.
Sam Raimi, you're hiring for just like his style, because
Right.
every film that he has a what I like to call, like, the Raimi signature. It depends on, like, a certain type of jump scare. It's always mixed with, like, a little bit of comedy. So I'm really excited when I found out he was in Doctor Strange. I'm really excited what he'll do for this.
I
Like, if you'll go like a little bit like Army of the Dead, or kind of like an Evil Dead style, or go to hell as well. Or no, or was it Take Me to Hell?
Right.
I can't remember the name of him.
The Take Me?
Mephisto.
Mephisto.
Mephisto, yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like Sam Raimi, when he did Spider-Man, he did that mention of Doctor Strange, and here he is now doing the Multiverse of Madness. And I don't think you hire Doctor Strange, or I don't think you hire Sam Raimi to be like a director for hire. I think, to Alex's point, you hire Sam Raimi to bring in Sam Raimi and do Sam Raimi's
Exactly.
style. So,
Mhm.
like, looking at their other movies, like Brian Coogler, he's got his stamp all over Black Panther. You've got Jon Favreau, again, his stamps all over the first Iron Man movie. The second one, maybe a little bit less, because they were trying to do a little bit more with setting up certain things in the universe of that movie. But then you've also got, like, I'm not a fan of the movie, but like Taika Waititi's and Thor Ragnarok, that's an absolute Taika Waititi movie. And even like, I would say, like, Loki, that's definitely like Kate Herron and Michael Waldron's series.
Yeah.
Like, that is their baby, but it is just so damn good.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Just
I
the
know-
score
also should-
alone.
Oh yeah, Natalie Holt's score, just so good.
So good. So good.
Whereas, Casey loves the score as well for Loki. It's just,
Yeah.
I didn't really notice it until maybe the last episode how good it was. Just that opening sequence where they're kind of the camera pans into Loki when he first wakes up
Yeah.
to the other Lokis.
That's his
Yeah,
theme
that's
right
yours.
there. And I've noticed that
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up, because I noticed that episode by episode the score kept on getting more grand.
Yep.
As a way of, telling,
Glorious purpose.
yeah, as a way of telling, like, Loki is finally fully, his character arc is also developing, and he's finally becoming the Loki by each episode. So I like that.
And who would have
I
thought
was-
Richard E. Grant would have been the best of all the Lokis?
Oh, the classic
And
movie, that was just
the
absolutely
last episode,
spectacular.
I couldn't believe it.
Spectacular. I
was
clapped.
excited for. I was excited for President Loki. Just seeing that, I'm like, because I know the history in the comics of behind that character. I'm like, oh, can't wait. And they offed him. I'm like, really? That's it? But then classic Loki stole my heart.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Gator Loki. Like that scene alone. Wow.
Yeah, this series got me to clap, and that's the first time in a long time Marvel Entertainment has got me to clap. I
Yeah.
haven't clapped at something since maybe Infinity War when Thanos beats the crap out of Hulk. Yeah.
Oh, and the little homage to fan theory of Loki maybe projecting himself and survived Thanos snapping his neck. Loved how they referenced that for this as a what if.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Awesome. We also get to see Keen Loki in this What If series as well. So we get to see a new adaptation of that. Also, we should say that this is going to be Chadwick Boseman's last portrayal of T'Challa, unless they do something in Black Panther 2, but this is his last time he played the character, so that's going to be pretty touching, and it's cool because we don't know what to expect. Like, if it was Black Panther 2, obviously he's playing Black Panther and Wakanda and stuff like that, but here he's Star-Lord and he's with Michael Rooker's character, so yeah, that goes. And also, it's a good indication as well because Spider-Man's in this. Who's to say Spider-Man can't pop up in a Disney Plus show in the future if he's popping up in this? So.
Sure.
I thought he might pop up in Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I was pleasantly not surprised to see him not show up.
Yeah. I think Sony might want to just keep him for the big screen box office instead of.
I think you're right.
Maybe. But, what if this show is great? And what if we review it? We will.
Yeah.
See, animation's a whole different ballgame for Spider-Man because that's all Disney. They can distribute that any which ways, 10 ways to Sunday. But like box office live action, they got to talk to Sony. And to your point earlier, that those conversations are probably the toughest conversations I think Kevin Feige has creatively outside of the ones currently with Black Panther due to the situation surrounding, Chadwick Boseman's passing. But like Spider-Man, I think truly is probably some of the most difficult creative conversations because you're dealing with a whole other studio who wants to make a whole other kind of small universe with the leftovers of Spider-Man's universe, and like they're playing ball so they can try and make money and keep Sony alive because really the only survivor they have is Spider-Man.
Here we have
that's kind of where I'm at.
Here we have one studio working with another studio, a competing studio, to make their cinematic universe work. And here, on the other hand, we have WB, who owns all the characters, has all the characters. They're willing to do stuff, and they're not doing it.